Back at Lone Depot Park, the Dodgers trying to avoid a sweep as they face the Marlins for the last time in the regular season. But they may not be done with them in 2023. That's because, as we show you the National League postseason picture, right now the Fish in a wild card spot and in line to potentially face the Dodgers in the National League Division Series. So these two teams could see each other again. For now, let's say hi inside Lone Depot Park. Eric Carroll, Steven Nelson here. We have Kirsten Watson with us as always. And EK, that means this is not just a chance for the Dodgers to get rolling towards the post. It's a chance to study someone you might see a little down the road.
Well, you're trying to gather information. You've gathered enough the last 2 days. Now maybe it's disseminate some information that you can flat out hit and you can pitch and win a ball game.
Well, that's something that the Marlins have shown the Dodgers the first couple games of the year, or of the season rather, because in this series, they are scoring a ton of runs, and now the last 6 for Miami, 8 runs per, with a lot more slug than you've been accustomed to this year for the Marlins.
Well, exactly what we've been seeing are just home runs, and you mentioned it, slug. In those last 6 games, they've hit 15 home runs, and this is a team that hasn't done it all year. Some acquisitions at the trade deadline, Berger and Bell, Jazz Chisholm back in the lineup too. They've been swinging it.
Ryan Pepiot back on the bump for the Dodgers, facing the Marlins for a second time this year, 3rd time in his career.
Right, it'll be interesting to see if he has to make some adjustments, because he did. He faced this team about a month earlier, gave up 1 run, pitched 5 innings, 3 hits. He threw well. But this is a cat and mouse game, and you'll see the Marlins will make an adjustment. How does Ryan Pepiot attack this ball club tonight?
We shall see soon. We also wonder who we will see behind Ryan Pepiot as we check in with Kirsten Watson downstairs.
Thanks, Stephen. Well, for Ryan Pepiot, they expect him to have a really solid full start. And then when it gets time for the bullpen to step in, Dave Roberts said that there's 2 guys that he wants to prioritize tonight. 1, Evan Phillips, and 2, Caleb Ferguson. And both of those guys haven't come out of the bullpen since over the weekend, so he wants to get them in to get some usage from them guys.
Well, Ryan Pepiot for the Dodgers. It's Braxton Garrett for the Marlins. He'll throw out the first pitch when we come back. Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Nissan. At Nissan, we make cars that thrill. Experience the thrill for yourself today. Shop NissanUSA.com. And by Jack in the Box. The double bacon sourdough jack has slice after slice of bacon. Try it at Jack in the Box. We're not in the box. We're in the Lone Depot Park here at Miami, Florida. The Dodgers wrapping up a 3-game series before heading up to D.C. Time now for Bounty Quick Stats, showing you the difference between August and September so far. For the top 2 in the order for the Dodgers, it's Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman. Of course, it's no secret the Dodgers go as those 2 MVP candidates go after hitting a combined .414 in the month of August. A slow start here in September, but still early in the month.
You know what that tells you right there, Nelly? Baseball is hard. It's hard.
Even for the very best in the business. Let's show you the starting lineup for the series finale, put out there by Dave Roberts and company. Mookie Betts in right field, Freddie Freeman at first. Will Smith batting 3rd as the designated hitter. Ahmed Rosario playing second base and cleaning up in front of Max Muncy at 3rd. Chris Taylor out in left field. Kike Hernandez patrolling center. Miguel Rojas at shortstop, and Austin Barnes thankfully feeling well enough to be back behind the plate.
Braxton Garrett is on the hill. He'll be going against the Dodgers. And this will be the 2nd time this year. Remember, he threw the 2nd game that doubleheader. Mookie Betts hit a few home runs. Acknowledged the man up in the stands, LeBron James. See if Mookie can get going again this evening.
StatCast 3D, powered by Google Cloud, taking you through Braxton Garrett's pitch arsenal.
And you see a lot of baseballs out there because he's got 6 different pitches. Likes to throw that cutter a lot, the sinker, throw that changeup, slider. 4-seamer is not real effective, but he tends to try and go after hitters. Likes to get that first pitch strike, so be ready to swing, Dodgers.
This will be his 28th appearance of the year, 27th start. He's coming off a win against the Nationals last Thursday. Went 6 innings, gave up 1 run, but back on the 19th of August at Dodger Stadium, Mookie Betts clipped him not once, but twice.
I'm not sure if the highlight where the home runs are that right there. That's what I'm talking about right there. Game recognizing game.
Yeah. A lot of greatness there at Dodger Stadium. And one of LeBron James' former teammates, Udonis Haslem, just threw out the ceremonial first pitch in Miami. Of course, UD, as he's known around here, just called it an NBA career. First pitch from Braxton Garrett. It's the outside part of the plate for strike one. Dodgers trying to hold off a sweep for a second consecutive series. Called a ball. 1-1.
Good. I like that. That was a ball.
A ball that was at the bottom of the zone. Now inside. So Mookie and Freddie, as the game got away from the Dodgers yesterday, both got an early start on their rest and recovery ahead of today. On the 2-1, Mookie checks up, but it's a strike anyway.
One of the keys for Garrett to be effective this evening is he needs to get Chase. So the Dodgers are going to have to be disciplined. Make sure he throws the ball over the plate. Don't expand the zone.
James Hoy is the home plate umpire tonight. John Lipko at first, DJ Rayburn at second, Angel Hernandez at third. Ball 3 forces Mookie to dance back out of the way. Now a payoff. That's high and a leadoff walk for Betts. As he walks to first, Freddie Freeman walks to the plate. Time for Ruling the Plate, presented by Burger King. And Freddie's so one behind Johnny Frederick's franchise record for doubles in a single season, and has a chance to become just the 7th player ever with 60 doubles. $18 hits total, shy of 200 on the year. It'd be 200 the first time in his big league career. It's been a minute since his last double. 1-1. Mookie with 10 stolen bases, leading off first, staying here for ball 2. Freddie gets ahead in the count.
You know, this is a situation too where we talked about it last night. Pitchers become very uncomfortable. Mookie at first base, you've got Freddie up at the plate. You're worrying about two things: the base runner, the hitter. Two of the best in the game.
3-1.
Now, I was saying that, you know, I know it doesn't sound right, but it's almost better. You know, Mookie hits a home run. Yes, it's 1-0, but there's nobody on base. You don't have the impetus for a big inning. This right here, you could have some things happen.
See Freddie's attack for the 3-1. He does choose to attack it. Grounded right side. Garrett stumbled off the mound, but Arise had him covered. Betts goes up to second.
And this is when you know that Freddie's just not picking up the ball well. We thought with a few walks last night, thinking, okay, he's seeing the ball a little bit better, feeling a little better. But that's a 3-1 pitch. And when Freddie's going right, and even when he's not going right, he usually hammers that thing.
Does help get Mookie in a scoring position for Will Smith.
This is the guy that's got to get going, right? He's been swinging a little bit better lately, but the second half just been fighting some mechanical issues.
Strike one called just below the zone. Count evens up. He had a 9-game on base streak that ended last night. All right, there has been more productivity of late, but hoping to catch fire like he was the first half of the year, earning himself his first All-Star selection. On the 1-1 from Garrett, swings through, strike two. And the mechanics, not being able to do damage against fastballs or really any pitches in the zone the same level. And Jerry Harrison Jr. talking with Nomar and John Hartung in the pregame show about potentially being timing. Let's see if he could be on time for the 1-2. He is. Lined out to left. De La Cruz is there waiting for it. As Ahmed Rosario comes to the plate. One more thing on Will Smith. We talk about the second half, and through the 21st of July he was slugging 2 points below 500. Since that point coming into this series it was 378 slug, but he was hitting the ball hard. His line drive rates were up, but yet not seeing the results. So maybe that's the silver lining for the Dodgers as they sort of monitor Will Smith as we get closer to the postseason.
Right, not being rewarded with the results, but the process and the work is right.
Rosario flails on strike two. The 0-2 breaks Rosario's bat. Shallow right field. Going back from second is Edwards, and he's underneath it. So the leadoff walk to Betts stranded by Garrett and the Marlins. So now Ryan Pepio. See if he can do more of the same against the Fish, this time on the road. Back for the bottom of the first, showing you the starting lineup for Skip Schumacher and the Miami Marlins. Basically the same as last night for the first 7 spots of the order. The changes in the 8 and 9 hole. Joey Wendell did start last night, but he's batting 8th tonight at short, and then Nick Fortes back behind the plate as the catcher. Time for the Audi player profile, showing you Ryan Pepio and his line against the Marlins on the 19th of August at home at Dodger Stadium. First pitch strike to Arise.
Had a pretty good outing. You see 5 innings pitched, only 1 earned run. He's the type of guy, he's got reverse splits, meaning he's better against left-handed hitters. Although this man up at the plate, 3 hits against him career-wise. Now this is what he did in his last start, did Pepio. Threw that 4-seamer 50% of the time. The changeup very effective. Hitters only 1 for 6, and then threw that slider. Changeup predominantly to the left-handed hitters, sliders to the righty.
And that has been one of the changes we've seen in his arsenal for 2023 compared to his debut season last year for Pepio. More changes, less sliders. Rise watches ball 2 down and away.
See that changeup right there, just running it. And that's a great pitch. It goes out of the zone. The hitter does offer it, beats it right into the ground.
2-2 into the seats. Ryan Pepio has been a different pitcher in all the right ways in this first month or so of watching at the big league level. Of course, took the first half to get healthy after the spring training injury. Delivers the 2-2 to Arise. That's tailing foul on the left field line. Count stays the same. But the command, the confidence, the assertiveness for Pepio.
Well, I think the confidence, whether you're in the batter's box, out on the mound, I mean, it is paramount.
Another 2-2 to Arise. And this is what Luis Arise can do. He's leading the National League. That 355 clip. majors. Elite bat-to-ball skills. Pepio's 8th. Grounded to short. Right where Miguel Rojas was positioned. Let's show you the Dodgers defense presented by Defender. Kike Hernandez in center field today. And that versatility Dave Roberts was asked about Kike, having him back during the pregame meeting with the media, and he said, I love watching him come back wearing a Dodger uniform and showing off his versatility as he started 5 different positions.
Yeah, we heard Dave say that. He said one of his favorite players to watch, and I couldn't agree with him more. He's been back. He's been exciting. He's filled a variety of roles, and out in center field tonight.
Pepio quickly in front of Jake Berger, 0-2. The Marlins last night 11 runs on 13 hits, and that's despite the Dodgers staff keeping Jake Berger and Josh Bell quiet. And that's really the first time all year that the Dodgers staff has made this guy quiet down. 11 games against the Dodgers and a ton of production. Not here though. Pepio has him take a seat. First strikeout of the game.
Pepio had thrown him a changeup, then a slider, then goes with a fastball 94 miles an hour out of the zone, and because he had just preceded that with the 2 off-speed pitches or the non-fastballs, Berger couldn't catch up to it.
Speaking of Bergers, 1 down, 9 to go. If the Dodgers can get to 10 punch-outs, then everyone gets a free Jumbo Jack tomorrow to Jack in the Box in the LA area with the purchase of a large drink.
See that changeup? I mean, that is such an effective pitch. He basically can be a 2-pitch guy against lefties.
Well, the switch hitter on the left side facing the righty Pepio. Fouls back, strike 2.
And when he's landing that changeup, that's a 93-mile-an-hour fastball, which by today's standards is not the 97, 98 that you think, oh boy, that guy's rushing it up there. But he tied Josh Bell up.
See if he can put him away. It's a little low. Count squares. Trying to make it back-to-back victories today for Ryan Pepio. The 2-2 swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 Ks and a clean first for Pep.
Dodger fans, you can now stream Dodger baseball at home and on the go on the Spectrum Sportsnet app. Sportsnet LA is available 24/7 to authenticated subscribers, so download the Spectrum Sportsnet app today.
Scoreless first inning for the Dodgers and Marlins here in Miami. Last of a 3-game series. 5, 6, and 7 due up for the Dodgers against Braxton Garrett, the left-hander. Nothing in 2 on Max Muncy. Here comes the 1-2 from Garrett. Muncy swings and there's another foul ball right in front of Chris Taylor in the on-deck circle. Muncy sitting on 32 bombs and 91 ribbies. 809 OPS to go with that 203 average. Swings and misses. First strikeout for Garrett. Let's take a look at the Verizon player profile on CT3. The last 18 games, EK, batting average north of 300, OPS north of 900.
And we saw him hit that big home run earlier in this series off A.J. Puck, the big lefty. Got on top of a 2-strike fastball. You know, that's the thing that these Dodger hitters, I mean, sometimes they may look overmatched, but they can do damage with one swing, whether it's this man right here, Max Muncy, JD when he's back. This is what I'm talking about, Nelly. The other night they were trying to go elevated 0-2 fastball and wasn't elevated enough. And CT lifted and separated.
Brown's second strike foul. That was the team's only extra base hit in that series opener. A.J. Puck pitched in the first 2 games, presumably down today. The 1-2 from Garrett. Taylor, the foul ball. Grounded to third. Berger throws it across.
Berger doing a nice job of surrounding that ball, keeping his feet moving, just flips it on over there to first. You know, he moves really well for a big guy. I mean, when you look at him, you think more lumbering, but pretty agile over there at third, runs well. Guy could flat out play.
First pitch to Kike Hernandez, a slash foul. Now that's been the part of Berger's game that he's had to work on in his career. He's always known as a slugger going back to his days at Missouri State. But what would be his positional home in the big leagues? One inside. And you see Garrett again. The Dodgers got to him for 3 runs when they saw him in Los Angeles, but he did strike out 6. And that slider cutter combo kind of gave him fits in that first matchup. 0 for 10 on it in that game, and so far 0 for 4 in this one.
Well, we showed you at the top of the show, Mookie hit 2 home runs. Kike got a hold of one as well off of this man right here.
2-2. Bases empty, 2 out. Hernandez here in the second. Pitch clock winding down. Garrett's going to get it away and get to the dugout with a strikeout of Kike. Flashing back to the 30th of August for Ryan Pepiot. A start and a win against the D-backs. 5 scoreless, 2 hits, a walk, hit a batter, struck out 3, and a new season high of 84 pitches to build on coming into today. StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. This is what he did against Arizona.
And those are the outs, the recorded outs. You see mostly on the changeup. And so far early on, we just see a changeup there. It started off Chisholm with a changeup. I mean, that's been his pitch. It really has. And then it sets up. That's 93, right? And again, we talked about it earlier. 93 miles an hour, and he's blowing it by guys. And it's all because you have to be concerned about that changeup as a hitter.
Going right at the red hot Jazz Chisholm Jr. Now Chisholm with the fly ball the opposite way. Can of corn for Taylor.
I mean, I think just watching him early on just goes to show you that you don't have to throw 98 miles an hour. He's locating, he's living up in the zone with that fastball at 93, 94, that changeup down near the ground, the occasional slider. Just disrupt the hitter's timing.
Brian De La Cruz now. A little north of the zone, ball 1. De La Cruz went 0 for 4 yesterday, snapped a hitting streak. It was 7 games. He's in front 2-0. He had the game-winning home run in the 8th inning of the opener. Grounded foul 2-2. So the Marlins have now won 6 in a row. That ties their season high. And the offense has found another gear here the last week. 2-2 from Pepio. Tap just in front of the plate. Pepio will field it and throw out De La Cruz. 2 away. Now we want to show you the electric performance brought to you by the all-new Nissan Ariya. Jesus Sanchez, his last 7 games, a 1357 OPS. EK as a hitter, that's what you want.
It's pretty good. He's saying baseball is easy. When you get one of these zones right now, and just he is seeing the ball as well as he's seen it all year long, it just feels like things are happening in slow motion. You know, nothing's happening quick. You're not having to it's just here it comes and bam.
It is only 2 hits of the series in last night's game. 2 for 3 with a double, a homer, a walk, scored twice. Pepio 0-2.
So now he can go with a high fastball or throw it, run that changeup low and away. There it is.
A little too low.
But again, though, it's something that you just want to entice the hitter, right? The 0-2 pitch, I hate the non-competitive 0-2 pitch. That right there is a competitive one.
Rolled over to the right side. Rosario to his left. 6 up, 6 down for Ryan Pepio. Scoreless game after 2. Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Carl's Jr. The new Big Char Chili Burger is here. Just $7.99. Get a combo that includes a small fry and small drink. Rojas, Barnes, and Betts here in the top of the 3rd. Dodgers and Marlins hunting for the first run of the game. Rojas walked last night to extend his on-base streak to a dozen. Now blisters a ball, right center field gap. It is going to get down to the wall. Miggy Rowe thinking 3, going for 3. The throw to 3rd. The tag is late. That's a triple for Miguel Rojas. And you knew he was wanting to dance back at Lone Depot Park. He finally does so.
This pitch out over the plate does a nice job. I thought he was going to stay at second base, but he made up his mind. He knew where the ball was, and he said he was going to get over there and see Dino and shake those hips.
You got to celebrate your first triple of the year. Against the team for whom he played 870 games. Now Austin Barnes taking a strike.
Infield in right now for Barnesy. You're hitting right now. You're looking for something up, out, over the plate. You're thinking right center. Big part of the field.
Oh, and 2. Barnes started the series opener and was hit in the head on the mask Quite flushed, he said after the game, by Nick Fortes, fellow catcher. Finished catching the inning, but then left the game early. He has since passed his concussion test. Had last night off. Some soreness today, but he feels good enough to go. Now the 0-2. Fortes tried to steal strike 3, did not get the call. Barnes with 8 ribbies on the year. Can he make it 9? Oh, Berger leaps and takes a hit away.
Well, we were talking about the athleticism of Berger a little earlier, and he showed some right there. Barnes, he had a base hit. Berger gets up as high as he can get up and extends that glove and able to snare it.
Now the top of the order. Rojas still on third. Only 1 out in the third. Mookie Betts watches the first pitch strike.
See, now the infield is moved back. Going to give up the run.
Mookie's numbers with runners in scoring position, bonkers. Hey, whoa. So it's 0-2 after that call. And that got him. So the Dodgers have him cornered for Freddie Freeman. Betts aboard for the second time.
I got him in the left hamstring. Garrett just yanked that thing.
Freddie Freeman had Garrett 3-1 in the first. Grounded out to first. First and third, 1 down for Freddie. Called strike 1. Well, when it comes to runners in scoring position, Freddie hitting .383, third in the National League, behind Luis Arraez and Mookie Betts, both at first base right now. Rojas on third.
Joey Wendell, the shortstop, playing almost behind second base. That whole left side of the infield wide open on the ground. We know Freddie likes to hit it over there, usually line drives to the outfield, but a lot of space.
2-1. And you see right now Berger closer to Rojas at third. Just before the pitch is thrown, he shifts closer to the hole at shortstop, knowing that Freddie can go the other way. Mookie takes off for second, and it's his. Count on Freeman, 2-2. Mookie has his 11th stolen base of the year. Now 2 in scoring position. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out in the top of the third. Garrett's pitch to Freeman misses away, well blocked by Fortes. On Garrett's 3-2. Outside and low, ball 4. Bases loaded. Right now a mound visit for Garrett. Mel Stoudemire Jr., the pitching coach for the Marlins, coming out. You see Will Smith, his career with the bases loaded. How about this year for the Dodgers, EK?
Been a few grand slams, and we're looking for one right here. Mentioned Will Smith looking to get that second half going. Should be a great time right now. When you're in a situation like this, though, what you don't want to do is get too big. Don't try and get greedy. Right now, you're looking to, again, drive something the other way. If you get something inside, then you can turn on it. You have to figure right now Garrett is probably going to try to induce a double play, throw something down, maybe expand the zone. Will, you just got a pigeonhole. Pitcher is in trouble.
Right now, a quick word from California Community Colleges.
Start your future at a California community college. Enroll today and apply for financial aid at icangotocollege.com.
Conference over for the Marlins. Inning most definitely not for the Dodgers. Bases loaded with one down. Our all-star catcher Will Smith at the plate. First pitch swinging, base hit into center field. Dodgers jump in front. Station to station, the line keeps moving.
Will wasn't waiting around. He saw a pitch that he liked, drove that thing right back up the middle. I think just center cut. Now Garrett he doesn't have his control right now. His 6 innings pitch against the Dodgers, didn't walk a batter so far tonight. 2 walks and a hit by pitch.
Rosario tried to follow suit going after the first pitch, fouled it back. Rosario in the cleanup spot. Dave Roberts on the media pregame. Hope and plan is that JD Martinez back in tomorrow in DC. And the lift that'll be for this group, lengthening the lineup. Garrett's 1-1. Rosario swings, gets a piece, and falls behind in the count.
That's that chase we were talking about, that when Garrett is effective, he gets hitters to go out of the zone. That pitch not a strike at all, and yet Rosario offers at it.
So now have to do a little 2-strike hitting. Bases loaded, 1 out. The pitch from Garrett. Strike 3 on the black.
They had just gone inside. This one gets the outer part of the plate. Rosario just unable to pull the trigger.
Well, if you're a Dodger fan hoping for a grand slam, you got the right guy up now. Max Muncy, bases loaded, now 2 away. He's got 3 of the team's 11 this year. Facing a left-hander, Garrett, and when he gets a hit off a lefty, more often than not, it's been a big one. Nearly got him. 2-0. Good memories for Max in such situations, and none bigger than that one at home in Philadelphia. Walking off Craig Kimbrell, and then back home in Texas. We'll talk about what happened the rest of that game. Huge swing, big miss. 2-1. And in that rip of 3 grand slams, one of them was off a left-hander. He was going for number 4.
Yes, he was.
Tipped into the glove. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I mean, this is where you got to shorten up. You take that approach much like Will Smith had. Even when it was 0-0 for Will, drove that ball up the middle. That's all you're looking for right here.
Count has been run full. good eye and a powerful bat. Awaits the 3-2 from Garrett. Swings and rips it foul. One more time. A 3-2 from Garrett with the bases loaded. Swing and a miss, strike 3. It could have been more, but the Dodgers only get 1. 2 strikeouts with the bases loaded.
Join us on Wednesday, September 13th, when the Dodgers take on the Padres for Dave Roberts Bobblehead Night, presented by MasterCard. For tickets and more information, go to Dodgers.com/promotions.
All right, Kirsten. Upstairs, Eric Karros. Steve Nelson here. The Dodgers get the first run of the game in the top of the third. Now the bottom of the third. Ryan Pepiot has the lead. Ground ball down the line, first base. Freddie steps on the bag just in time to get to speedy Xavier Edwards.
Pepiot living with that changeup again. It's just so effective this early part of the ball game.
It could have been a more comfortable lead, but the Dodgers, for a third straight game, EK, have the first lead of the game. They haven't been able to hold it the first 2. See today.
Well, Pepiot, though, looks good right now. And again, that pitch usage right now, the changeup almost as much as the fastball.
Strike 1 to Joey Wendell. He was 3 for 4 last night with a homer and a double. He drove in 4 and scored 3 times. He boosted his season OPS nearly 30 points in just 1 game. It's been that much of a struggle for him in 2023. One ball, 2 strikes.
Remember, he got a high fastball last night. He was able to catch up to with Lance Lynn. Think about changeup again. There it is.
Tailed away, so the count is level. Two grounded to Freddie. This time Pepiot will help Freeman out. Now the catcher Nick Fortes in the 9 spot. Quick check in with Austin Barnes. Hit with his bat on Tuesday night. Swings through strike 1.
There you see the slider right there, and that's the one he saves for the right-handed hitters. Has thrown the changeup to a right-handed hitter. He threw one earlier to Berger, so that's also on the table.
1-1 in the air. Shallow right field. Rosario going back. And that's another 1-2-3 frame for Ryan Pepiot.
Stage Dodgers. Former Cy Young Award winner and World Series champion Fernando Valenzuela has his number retired at Dodger Stadium. And the Dodgers host El Segundo's Little League World Series champion baseball team. Don't miss Backstage Dodgers tomorrow after the postgame show.
Segundo. Go Pepiot. Quick and good work of the Marlins so far. Dodgers 1, Marlins nothing. Top of the 4th.
Oh, we got a pitch comm issue, huh?
It appears so. While that's being sorted out, you got to hear this word from Carl's Jr.
Big on savings with the Big Char Chili Combo for just $7.99.
New tech has made its way to the mound in Miami, where the Dodgers are trying to avoid being swept by the Marlins here in Florida for the first time since September of 1999. They did apparently give Braxton Garrett a ball on that, so it's 2-0, the count on Chris Taylor. He grounded to third his first time up. EK, you went silent when I brought up that September '99 series.
I mean, you heard Johnny Hartung the pregame. I mean, I think he said it all. I mean, I was there, yes, but not sure that I had a lot to do with that.
Taylor with a little flare in center field. Chisholm Jr. has it. First out of the fourth. This is true. My former MLB Network teammates took it to the Dodgers there. I mean, Cliffy Floyd, Kevin Millar, Mikey Lowell, and Ryan Dempster.
Yeah, good for them.
One down, Kike Hernandez.
Where do you want me to go with that?
Just trying to see what I can get out of you here in this third game.
Let's get some runs, huh?
Yeah,
that's what we're looking for.
The Dodgers have the first one, but it could have been so much more. The bases loaded, just one down. Braxton Garrett got 2 strikeouts to escape the jam. And so up to this point now in the series, the Dodgers are 5 for 22 with runners in scoring position. They've left 16 on base. And they've struck out in 26 of 87 plate appearances.
I mean, those things happen, and they're going to happen during the course of a season. And the thing about it, obviously, that's what makes winning in the postseason so difficult, because you can have a series where things just aren't clicking. And, you know, we saw it happen last year with the Padres. And again, it's not necessarily always the best team that wins.
That's a 2-strike piece of hitting for Kike, but he pulls it foul.
You know, I said it last night, and I'll say it again today, and I'll say it again next week. And I'll take these guys and go try and win a series or win a baseball game, win a postseason. Like I said, there may be one other team in the National League that, you know, if you twisted my arm, I might say, okay. And that's clearly, you know, it's the Atlanta Braves are, I mean, they're unreal right now. That doesn't mean the Dodgers can't be the best team, though, in October.
On the 2-2, high and outside. Hernandez has worked it full against Garrett. And to your point, EK, I mean, we are just a few days removed from seeing the end of a stretch where the Dodgers displayed what happens when they get hot. Just trying to do that at the right time. A foul ball from Hernandez. And both the Dodgers and the Braves learned last year. The Dodgers are 22 games in front of the Padres. The Braves were 14 in front of the Phillies. Those 4 teams all met in the division series. It didn't matter. Pitch number 8 from Garrett to Hernandez. Could this be a battle that helps Kike lock back in?
Stay tuned.
Number 10. That's a walk for Kike Hernandez. Round of applause from the top step of the Dodger dugout. Now back to Miguel Rojas, who tripled for the first time this year and came around to score the first run of the game. The at-bats per extra base hit for Miggy Rowe. It's trying to get the foot down, be aggressive, drive the baseball. One ball, one strike. The offering from Garrett. 2-1.
Miggy in a hitter's count right now, and we've seen Garrett expand the Dodgers strike zone. This is where you've really got to pigeonhole him right now. Look for something over the plate. Don't get too aggressive.
Pitch number 81 already for Garrett, and he gets a call.
So that's a great take right there. That pitch is off the plate. Miggy did his job. He didn't get rewarded for it, but it's a good take right there.
Instead of 3-1, it's 2-2. Hernandez off first. Rojas waiting at home. He swings and bounces it foul.
Can't believe he's going to be around much longer, right? 82 pitches. The Dodgers have made him work.
Quiet in the bullpen for now as he throws the 2-2. Another good take from Rojas. Now we see some bodies up. Start to move around. At 3-2, base hit through the left side. Rojas 2 for 2.
Miggy having himself a nice little homecoming. Gets a pitch that is a strike right there and shoots that ball into the left field. I like the way he came out of the box. Look at that. Just, yeah, look at that little jog. Look at how wide he gets right there. He's loving it back here.
Telling me before the series opener, just the emotions that he was jousting with internally. He didn't know how he was going to react once the game got going. There was really lovely video tribute and a nice ovation after the bottom of the first form, and you could tell how much it meant to him because you knew how much he meant to this community in his 8 years. Okay, you know what it's like going back to a place that.
Yeah, you know, I think just watching him this series, he's played within himself, and that's something that, you know, sometimes you start swinging at everything. You want to hit the ball out of the park. You want to throw the ball 100 miles an hour across the infield. He's done a great job so far.
Marlins fouls back the first pitch from Garrett. Austin Neely had a knock in his first AB. A line drive and a leaping Jake Berger at third base. First and second for Austin here, which is ball one. Heads up in the seats. 1-2. 2 strikes on a Dodger. Well, we just saw from Rojas. He became the 5th 2-strike base runner of the night for LA. 3 walks, a hit by pitch, and 1 knock. Will the trend continue? We await the 1-2 pitch from Braxton Garrett. Barnes shoots it the other way. It'll tail out of play. Mookie Betts on deck. 2 on, 1 out.
Good take by Barnes. We've seen, with runners on, we watched Rosario and Muncy both expand the zone offer at pitches that were not strikes. And during the at bat, Barnes again make him get it over the plate.
Trying to hurt the team that drafted him. Pitch number 91 from Garrett. Oh, the pickoff attempt gets into center field. So Hernandez and Rojas now both in scoring position at 2nd and 3rd.
Now, if you're Barnes up at the plate right now, you've just got to make it as simple as I want to see a good pitch and just hit it hard. Don't start thinking now I've got 2nd and 3rd. The infield's in. I've got to get a hit, because when you do all that, you just compound the issue. You make it more difficult to have any type of success.
Air charge to Edwards at 2nd, who has the ground ball from Barnes. Make sure both stay where they are. 2 down. And Skip Schumacher going to take the ball from his young left-hander and go to the bullpen for Mookie Betts. Comes to the plate.
Support the Dodgers into the home stretch at MLBshop.com. Check out the largest selection of authentic jerseys, caps, t-shirts, collectibles, and more. Gear up with your Dodgers at MLBshop.com.
The line as it stands right now for Braxton Garrett: 3 2/3, 3 hits, 3 walks, 4 Ks, 1 run so far. It's 2nd and 3rd for the Dodgers. JT Chargois, old friend, being seen by LA for the 2nd time in this series. He comes on to face the top of the order.
Faced Mookie Betts last night, got the better of him.
Mookie to get some payback. First pitch in the zone at the bottom of it.
Couldn't go from 2 different pitchers. Garrett, lefty, 6 different pitchers trying to trick you. Chargois, rear back and fire coming right at you.
2 in scoring position for Mookie. Another fastball for a strike. On Chargois' 0-2. Betts fouls it back into the seats. He's been aboard twice. Doesn't have a hit yet. Keyword being yet. Oh, he spit on one, and it's ball one.
Fans didn't like it, but that pitch was off the plate. I mean, it's a great take by Mookie.
Wow, what a take.
I mean, it's one of those, was it a great take, or was it like I couldn't pull the trigger on it anyhow?
We'll go with the
great take.
former. Yeah. Only took Chagua one more pitch to send Mookie down on strikes. Two more stranded for the Dodgers, but the lead is still 1-0.
Welcome back to Miami with Luis Arraez of the Marlins coming up to the plate. We've got a special story with him and Brusdar Graterol of the Dodgers. So the two of them played in the Minnesota Twins organization back in 2014 together, where Brusdar Graterol signed as an international free agent there in August. So the two of them have had a special relationship since then. Luis has two daughters and one more on the way, in which Brusdar and his wife Allison are the godfather of his kids. And on the other side, Brusdar Graterol, his daughter with Allison, Luis is the godfather of their child. So really special friendship and just relationship that's now turned from friends into family, guys.
Thank you, Kirsten Watson, to steal a line from dear friend Sarah Langs. Baseball is the best. That's awesome. Ryan Pepiot has Arraez down in the count, 0-2.
Well, we'll see if the Marlins make any adjustments. Second time through the lineup. Okay, what do we got? I know.
I was just I was. Look out, Ryan Pepiot. Miguel Rojas, it's short. How about it?
To take a Spike Lee reference, going back to the Michael Jordan commercials, it must be the shoes. I mean, that was so sweet. You know, Dave Roberts was telling us the other day, you know, we were talking about Miggy and what he's meant to this team, and the defense has just, I mean, it's spawned to the rest of the ball club. It has been one of the things in this run that they've had recently that has separated themselves, and it all revolves around this man right there.
Whether it's the shoes or not, I want to be like Miggy.
Oh, there you go. All right. Follow it right up there. The sad thing is, I don't know how many people.
Jerry Hairston Jr. is going nuts.
He knows that. Yeah, he knows that.
Yeah. 0-2 pitch nearly hit Jake Berger. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I'm just glad that you were able to recognize it must be the shoes, because not sure that everyone was aware of that. All right, let's get there.
Rosario now snares it, spins and fires. Another star.
Let's play some D, boys. You can bring defense to the park every single day, every single night. That's what the Dodgers are doing. Pepiot loving that.
Now Josh Bell. He will be the next Dodger defender to make a play. High in the air, right field. Betts will camp out underneath it. It finally comes down. That's a 4th straight 1-2-3 frame for Ryan Pepiot. You're watching Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA, and it's brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. The Dodger offense has a run. The Dodger defense has some highlights. And Ryan Pepiot finish off a 4th clean inning.
All right, here come the Marlins. You're going to bring out Mr. Soriano. You see 18 games. Strikeouts 42 of them in 39 innings pitched. Get a little erratic. 17 walks. Got a very live arm. You know, the Marlins are in a situation right now. You know, Alcantara going down, and they've got 2-3 starters, and even those guys have got to their innings max as far as the season's concerned, and they're going to have to mix and match the rest of the way. See Skip Schumacher having to do that this evening.
Soriano will have to contend with Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, and Ahmed Rosario in the top of the 5th. Starts his night off with a strike to Freddie. And Soriano, a guy who can pitch multiple innings. 11 of his 18 appearances this year have covered at least 2. But to your point, there is a shared struggle, let's call it, for lack of a better term. That might be a little too dramatic, between these two teams. So monitoring their young arms, and not just the number of innings, but the number of pitches, number of stressful pitches and innings. As we hear Doc say all the time, not all pitch counts
are the same,
are created equal, and that's in the wake of the scary news to Sandy Alcantara, the reigning Cy Young winner. Still waiting for the official diagnosis, getting another opinion as Freddie grounds it to Berger at 3rd.
Well, I think the parallels for both clubs, the Marlins are going to need young guys, young pitchers, inexperienced guys to pitch big innings with the hope of getting to October. The Dodgers, the young guys are going to play a pivotal role in October.
Well, Smith is through strike 1. It was Smith who scored or brought in the first run of the game, I should clarify, in the 3rd. First pitch swinging, RBI single. Now Smith in the air, left field, hustling after it. De La Cruz on the warning track. He hauls it in. There's a word from Morongo.
War live September 15th and 16th. Get your tickets now.
Let's see if Ahmed Rosario can translate the defensive highlight he just made in the 4th to an offensive highlight here in the 5th. Well out of the zone. He somehow got a piece of it. It's a foul ball, and it's 0-2. Grounded up the middle. No way. Xavier Edwards. Oh, but the speed of Rosario. Oh, a great effort at second. And Ahmed busting it down the line. He's aboard with 2 out.
Edwards does a great job just getting to the ball. He's on the other side of second base, but Rosario hustling down that line.
You hear the directive being given by James Hoy to Soriano. You got to see him. Eye contact to engage the hitter. And it's Max Muncy with 1 on and 2 away. Max is 0 for 2 with a couple of Ks. Both against a left-handed Garrett, now facing the righty. Look out. On the 2-1. It's outside. Laureano gets the pitch call from Fortes behind the plate. Ball 4. 2 have reached with 2 out.
Through 4 2/3, the Dodgers have garnered 4 walks and a hit by pitch.
And it's interesting that 3 of those came from Braxton Garrett, because he came into this game with the best strikeout to walk ratio in the National League and the second best walks per 9 innings rate. They issued just 22 free passes in 140 innings coming into tonight. Just didn't have it.
Yeah, the Dodgers have had their opportunities. 3 straight innings they've had 2 or more guys on base, but they've only been able to score 1 run. Looking for a big hit right now from CT.
Dodgers have been able to do it with 2 out all year long. Taylor, first pitch, driven to center field. Rosario waved around, he'll score. And it's 2-0 Dodgers.
Much like Will Smith, CT wasn't wasting any time. Jumped on the first pitch. Drove it right back up the middle for an RBI.
So they're at the corners for Kike. Tried to do the same. Big swing, big miss. That 2-out run total for the Dodgers this year run up to 316. Tops in baseball. Taylor running. Kike swinging. Driving a ball to the right center field gap. That one hops over the wall. Some tough luck for the Dodgers, because Chris Taylor's got to go back to third base when he would have scored easily. But Max Muncy does touch home. The lead is 3.
I mean, that's crazy too, right? Because you see Kike gets this just hanging slider right over the middle part of the plate. But Chris Taylor was around third base before that ball even made it into the stands. Again, the 2-base rule.
Strike 1 to Miguel Rojas.
Remember, this all starting with 2 outs and an infield single by Rosario.
Rojas hits it hard to short. It's gathered by Wendell. It ends the 5th inning, but a pair plated by the Dodgers. Well, we welcome you back by winding it back to what we saw the last inning from the Dodger defense. First, Miguel Rojas taking one away from Luis Arraez, and the very next batter, Jake Berger. Nah, says Ahmed Rosario. So the lead for Ryan Pepiot is 3. Beginning the bottom of the 5th inning. Distribution of outs tonight for Pep.
Well, you want to talk about a man leading the defense. This is it right here. Ryan Pepiot having a great first few innings. Kept the Marlins at bay so far. Excellent use of the changeup.
Ball 2 down to Jazz Chisholm Jr.
You see what he's been doing with the first pitch strikes. Getting that fastball, establishing it, and then able to go to the changeup, the slider. Changeup usage has been big tonight.
Did not get the call, so it's 3-1. Austin Barnes was not happy with James Hoy after that. Ring 1 swinging. Chisholm high in the air, nearly getting the roof at Lone Depot Park. Rojas underneath it. As Chisholm is 5 for 8 with 2 homers in this series coming into tonight. He's 0 for 2 so far. Brian De La Cruz will step up now.
That's Pepio's what? That was the first 3-ball count of the evening for him.
Well, he got through his first 4 scoreless on 51 pitches. Down to 12.8 pitches per inning. First pitch other way. Betts hustling in. Mookie has it. How do you bounce back from your first 3-ball count of the night, EK?
Just get a 1-pitch out, right?
That works.
And that's the thing that has been the marked difference from last year to this year, is his ability to throw strikes, work ahead of hitters. And they always say, you know, what's the best pitch in baseball? Strike 1.
Didn't get it here to Jesus Sanchez.
Oh.
Gets a call for strike 1 to even the count. Sanchez
showing like it. I got to be standing over here to hit that one.
Grounded right side. Easier play for Rosario. That's a 9-pitch 5th for Ryan Pepio. I'm going to start talking to some friends.
The first 40,000 fans in attendance on September 12th will receive a Freddie Freeman jersey presented by Bank of America. To purchase tickets, go to Dodgers.com/promotions.
Kirsten, Freddie Freeman due up 3rd this inning. First pitch to Austin Barnes. Grounded to Joey Wendell at short. 1 out in 6th. Dodgers up on the Marlins 3-0. That man's the story right now. Ryan Pepio. He's through 5 on 60 pitches.
Right, been so efficient attacking hitters with that first pitch fastball, utilizing the changeup, mixing in a slider. For me, though, this evening, that changeup has been really the pitch that's been able to set up the other 2.
First to the order, and Mookie Betts. 0 for 1 with the walk. Also aboard after being hit by a pitch, then stole his 11th base of the year. Two homers from 40, 1 ribby from 100. Out of the leadoff spot. 2 balls and a strike. With a strong chance to become just the 2nd ever to win MVP in both the American and National Leagues. One bounced foul left side.
You know who the other one was?
I do. Frank Robinson.
Yes, you do.
To check swing foul. A little tougher question than.
Go ahead.
When I quizzed you in Anaheim.
About a
former Bruin.
Here we go. We're bringing up
old stuff.
Turn back the clock.
2-2. A little high, a little outside. Count is full for Soriano against Betts. Now the payoff. Outside ball 4. 3rd time on base for Betts. Now Freddie to try and pay off Kirsten Watson's promo read.
Right?
Synergy, Freddie. Our producer Mike Levy does make a good point. He says either way people are getting the jerseys, so that's fair. Mookie on, 1 down. 2 and nada. Freddie dumps one fair just inside the line on the right field line. Oh, the ball boy thought it was foul. He picked it up and threw it into the stands. Oh, Bubba, no, but
it'll be interesting, though, because the umpires can make the decision and give Mookie Betts home in that situation. If they deem that he would have scored, they have the ability to award Mookie home plate, and it's not just a 2-base advantage.
So while they talk about it, we can award Freddie Freeman with his 52nd double, which ties Johnny Frederick the franchise all-time record.
Yeah, here we go. That's the right call. Skip Schumacher's going to come out, right? Yeah, he's going to.
So Mookie Betts will make it official.
Well, not only does Freddie get a double, but also an RBI. One more double, and we will not see that graphic anymore. You see that pitch right there? That's in off the plate. Freddie pulls his hands in. Oh, doesn't hit it hard, but
I was like, no,
hits it in the right spot. Yeah.
Yeah, making a kid's day. Let's go.
Right. Freddie dancing.
First double since the end of August for Freddie Freeman. Again, tying franchise record with 52. On second for Will Smith, who watches ball 1. Foul back into the net. On the 1-1. Souvenir. Will 1 for 3 with an RBI base hit. Behind in the count 1-2. Another leaping catch by Jake Berger. They say that's in play. The throw across gets away from Rise. So Smith is safe.
Now, I'm not sure what happened to Rise over there at first base. It wasn't an exceptional throw, but he was just trying to come off the bag, catch it, and get back to first. See what happened here. He just whiffed it.
So it's a base hit and E5, putting Smith on second. Freeman on third. 1 out. Cleanup spot. Ahmed Rosario. Rosario base hit in the left. Freddie can take his time. Green light for Will. That's a 2-run single for Rosario.
Rosario taking advantage of a drawn-in infield and shoots his ball just by Berger. Marlins defense failing him this inning. Dodgers able to take advantage.
And the hook for Soriano. Pitching change for the Marlins. The Dodgers will get back to work on offense when we come back.
Head to Dodger Stadium on September 19th for Dia de los Dodgers presented by Ornitos. Purchase a special ticket pack to receive an exclusive jersey. For tickets, go to Dodgers.com/ticketpacks.
Looking forward to that. Kirsten, thank you. Welcome you back to Lone Depot Park. Ryan Pepiot patiently waiting in the Dodger dugout. The offense continues to work. In the top of the sixth. Already scored 3 in the inning to make it 6-0. Rosario now taking off for second. Slides. Did he hold the bag? No, he came off.
Wendell does a nice job of continuing to hold the tag, and you see Rosario's momentum. He just can't stay on the bag.
And couldn't reach it. It's like a movie scene. Base is now empty for Max Muncy. We say hello again to Devin Smeltzer. Happy birthday, Devin. It's a little different from the last time Dodger fans may have saw him.
The 5th round pick by the Dodgers in 2016.
Turns 28 years old today. Oh. He plucks. Max Muncy.
Off speed pitch. Not trying to get up and in there.
Smeltzer was traded away from the Dodgers at the deadline in 2018 in the Brian Dozier trade. But of course, fans of the Dodgers, viewers of Backstage Dodgers, will remember him for what happened in spring training of 2018 when Dave Roberts and the Dodgers shared Devin's emotional story, his battle with cancer as a young kid. First pitch to Chris Taylor. This is for ball 1. When he went to a Phillies game and met one of his heroes, Chase Utley. And fast forward to 2018, a member of the Dodgers organization was able to share a really special and emotional reunion with Chase. He was wearing Dodger blue at the time. The 1-1 pitch to CT. Lays to left and splits the outfield gap. Muncy hustling, waved around by Dino Ebel. The throw home will be late, and the Dodgers in 6 innings so far have matched their run total from the first 2 games of the series. It's 7-0.
Chris Taylor having a nice evening. A couple of RBI base hits, jumps on that fastball. I think the thing that's been impressive this evening is they're doing it without the long ball. They're manufacturing things, getting base hits, drawing walks. See what they did first 5 games this month. 3 runs a game. Tonight 7. Again, we're comparing everything off of that month of August. That's a tough standard to stay with, right?
Unfair standard. But it has been a machine for most of the year. Dave Roberts. Nothing in 2 on Kike Hernandez. Taylor off second. Pitch from Smeltzer in the dirt. At this rate, it'll be about 20 minutes from the time Ryan Pepiot last stood on the mound here at Lone Depot Park. Offense has given him a bigger cushion here in the top of the 6th inning with 4.
Yeah, not often that as a pitcher you're rooting for your team to get out, but I'll tell you right now that Pepiot wouldn't mind seeing a ground out or something right here.
So I'll go back down into the tunnel a little earlier in this inning. Staying loose, doing homework, whatever it is. Getting ready for his next inning of work as Hernandez pushes one into the seats. Not too far from where the ball dude's position. I'm going to tell you that a substitution has been made at Lone Depot Park.
Sure looks that way, huh?
Yeah.
Tough job, man. Tough job.
Another 2-2. Hernandez on a line to left. De La Cruz read it well. But a 4 spot in the 6th. 7-zip back to Pepiot. Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Good times. It might have felt like a 90-minute wait for Ryan Pepiot to get back to the bump here, EK.
He'll be back out there, though, and the way he's doing it tonight, he's only had 7 swing and misses, but only 2 hard-hit balls. Hard hit being 95 and above.
First pitch of the 6th. Sent down the left field line. Taylor in foul ground. 1 pitch, 1 out. 7-10-0 for the Dodgers. 0-0-2 for the Marlins. And Pepiot at 61, and 61 total pitches.
Well, he's being pitch efficient. The Marlins are attacking early in the count, and that's because he's throwing strikes. You know, they don't want to get behind 0-1.
And before anybody starts to get a little antsy or excited at the fact that he's at the bottom of the order right now, we got to remind him what happened last night. The 6 through 9 hitters for the Marlins had 8 of the team's 13 hits, 4 extra base hits. Rolled right side. Rosario's there. 2 down. Nine spot and the catcher Nick Fortes. In the air, left field, hooking toward the line. Long run for CT, but he makes that run. That's 5 pitches for Pepiot in the 6th. 18 up, 18 down. .65 pitches thrown for Ryan Pepiot. 6 shutout innings. No hits, no walks, no base runners.
I could have swore he was just there, wasn't he? I mean, like, we were just sitting here going, hey, he's been sitting in there for 22 minutes. Went out there, threw for 30 seconds, and got right back on his seat.
This day started with the Dodgers focus, trying to avoid a sweep here in Miami. The focus has shifted to Ryan Pepiot. Offense back at it in the top of the 7th. against Devin Smeltzer. Two and one on Miguel Rojas as the Dodgers will send 8, 9, and 1 up to the plate this inning. Ground ball, base hit. Rojas with his 3rd knock tonight.
So good to see him have a nice return and play well. I know he's excited. 3 knocks.
Barnes grounds the first pitch to short. Could be 2. It will be 2. Rojas with 3 hits tonight is new season high, but the double play takes him off the bases. A strike to Mookie Betts. One ball, 2 strikes. Smeltzer to Betts. Poked into right field.
How about Mookie being on base 4 out of 5 times this evening? Couple walks, hit by pitch. Find some space on the right side. Stolen base this evening too, right?
Oh yeah. Two out base runner for Freddie Freeman. That's the first pitch foul. Just for you, EK. One more time.
I can't wait to see that in the Open tomorrow.
Freddie tying Johnny Frederick with his 52nd double.
Although Freddie could do us all a favor right now and hit a double. Take the lead for good and put that record to bed.
Two balls and a strike. Swing, big miss. Count levels up 2-2. Outside and we're full. Head start for Mookie. Freddie puts it in the air to right field. This one's on the warning track and gathered by Sanchez. All right, folks, grab a beverage, grab a snack. We'll be right back to watch Ryan Pepiot. Box score brought to you by your Lexus dealers. Ryan Pepiot's line as we begin the bottom of the 7th. He's facing the top of the order for the Miami Marlins, with the Dodgers leading by 7. First 18 up, all sent down. 1-2 to Arise. In the seats. Lost outside. It's 2-2. Rosario, get up! One down in the 7th.
Pepiot getting a little help from his friends right there. Rosario elevate. Dodgers are playing some D tonight, especially up the middle, boys. See Pepiot fired up.
Because Ryan Pepiot knows what he's doing.
He's out there pitching. Guy can't go out there and pitch in a big league game.
Foul back by Berger. 2 strikes. Deep breaths from the kid from Indy. Rip foul by Berger. His 0-2. Berger, fly ball center field. Kike Hernandez in front of the warning track. Has it. 2 down in the 7th. Ryan Pepiot, the first Dodger rookie, be perfect through 6 innings since Hiroki Kuroda back in 2008. Before that, you got to go back to 1984 and find our dear friend and a legend of Dodger baseball, Orel Hershiser. One and one to Josh Bell.
Well, Pepiot doing a nice job of living on the edges, up and down. Only 2 strikeouts this evening.
Count squared. On the ground and through. A base hit for Josh Bell. First hit, first base runner against Ryan Pepiot tonight. Comes back with a strike to Jazz Chisholm Jr.
I mean, it's an excellent pitch right there, and it's the pitch that he's been most effective with tonight, a changeup. But Bell just sticks the bat out there, just gets by Pepiot. Oh.
Pulled foul by Chisholm Jr. Good pick by Austin Barnes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Tip of the cap to you, kid. Ryan Pepiot, 7 shutout. Dave Roberts and Ryan Pepiot in the dugout, and you could see Dave mouth, he's done, giving him his due. 7 shutout on 84 pitches, no walks, 3 strikeouts, 1 hit.
I mean, he did a great job of pitching tonight. Saw only the 3 strikeouts. You know, wasn't above 95 miles an hour. Only 10 swing and miss, but he stayed off the barrel of the bat. He worked ahead of guys. He filled the strike zone. I mean, that's pitching.
And something Dave Roberts has been asked about the last few days has been about the final month of the regular season and all the young arms that the Dodgers will deploy, and the roles that they could fill, the jobs that they could win for the postseason.
I mean, it feels pretty simple. You're going to get it. There's 27 outs. You're going to have to work backwards. How are we going to get those 27 outs? And I don't think it's going to be conventional, meaning I don't think you're going to have, okay, here are my 3 or 4 starters, and this is who's going game 1. I think there's going to be a lot of creativity, and how these guys perform will define where they are used in a game.
And all we have seen Ryan Pepiot do since getting healthy and joining the big league club is perform. Last 2 starts, 12 innings, no runs allowed, 3 hits, a walk, 6 Ks, a base hit for Will Smith. It'll be his 3rd tonight. Getting on to start the 8th. And EK, just to get in front of the chirps that may come our way for the graphics or the conversation that took place leading up to, as Rosario skies one to center for the first out of the 8th. There's a great quote from an all-time broadcaster who said once, it's insulting to the viewers or the listeners to make them think they're silly or superstitious enough to believe that his telling them that a no-hitter is happening or something special is happening will affect the game. That broadcaster, of course, our franchise icon, Mr. Scully.
He's got to be excited about what he was able to do, and more than anything, it's proving to yourself that you can do it. You know, it's one thing, oh, you've got good stuff, and hey, you can go out and perform, but to actually experience it, to do it, no greater teacher.
You know, another part, as we see Caleb Ferguson loosening in the bullpen, another factor that may have went into that sigh from Dave Roberts in front of Ryan Pepiot was the fact that pregame he said it was imperative for the Dodgers to get Caleb Ferguson and Evan Phillips some work.
Right? Yep.
But given the way Pepiot was cruising, a chance at history, that decision was very much in question. Two balls, two strikes. The pitch to Muncy. Scalded to right. Gets down for a base hit. First and second in the 8th.
Good to see Max get on base for the 3rd consecutive time. Hit by pitch, a walk, and that one barreled up. You know, there's a lot of concern that the Dodgers may have to go to the youth as far as pitching come the postseason. But tell you what, Dodger rookie pitchers, August and September at 2.72 ERA. It's Pep and Emmett Sheehan, Miller, Stoney specifically. Pretty darn good.
Grove working back.
Michael Grove going to come back, and I really think that he's going to eat some innings. You know, he's going to be that right-hander, come in and throw 2 innings and just mow through some guys.
And to that end, as we look at Ryan Pepiot once more in the Dodger dugout, you know, you brought up earlier how the Dodgers, Marlins, you know, really every team down the stretch. Taylor gets into a ball, center field, hit very well. Jazz Chisholm watches it fly. CT3 with his 2nd home run of the series. And the Dodgers have hung 10 on Miami.
I mean, this is another guy that when he gets hot can carry a ball club. And you know, the Dodgers do have some guys that can, they're streaky hitters, and you know, you may see them for a few games and you say, man, these guys, it just doesn't look good. But these same guys a couple games later can carry a ball club. 15 home runs this year.
Two balls, no strikes on Kike Hernandez. Damage to Devin Smeltzer. But to get back to the topic of young pitchers, you know, teams monitoring workloads down the stretch. Well, with Ryan Pepiot specifically, of course, it was terrible, his spring training injury and how that held him back from big opportunity as he had earned his way onto the opening day starting rotation for the Los Angeles Dodgers. But it's basically cutting and pasting, you know, that first half workload that you see from young pitchers and get concerned about in the second. Well, now you're cutting and pasting it to the second half of the season into the postseason.
Yeah, I think the Dodgers are in a great spot. You know, even Bobby Miller, right? He was on, you know, he was getting, I don't want to say babied isn't the right word, but kid gloves for a while, even spring training. You know, they want to make sure he was right. You know, he's in a great spot right now. But Michael Grove will be coming back.
Jake Berger bobbled it again, throwing across, and again, Arraez can't make a pick. So we've seen that play a few times tonight. Berger's made it once, and then the Marlins haven't been able to complete it twice.
Yeah, he did a good job of catching it his very first time. The last 2 times he's just kind of knocked it down. And I mean, I think I'm not sure. It just didn't look athletic. I'll say that.
Last time it was Luis Arraez at first. Yuli Gurriel now in the game at that position.
They rule that a hit? Yeah, hit.
In the air to center. Myers will haul off Sanchez.
All right, Barnesy needs to get on the board. I mean, Burger's that's the only play he's made all day, was that jumping up and snaring a ball off of Barnesy's bat. Barnesy's going like, geez, you got to be kidding me.
That was
everybody else hits one down there, they get a hit.
Barnes, the lone starter without a hit so far. Fighting here with 2 strikes on him.
Dodgers have had 7 2-strike hits this evening. Just this inning alone, they've had 3.
Bench getting ready. Barnes is down swinging. But another crooked number for LA. A 3-run shot for CT3. 10-0. Middle of the inning. Harrison Jr. and Nomar Garciaparra on standby for Access Sportsnet Dodgers after the game. Pep in step. Nailed it. Jay Hare. Changes for the Dodgers before the bottom of the 8th. Michael Busch now at first base. James Outman in center. Kike Hernandez moves over to right field. So Mookie and Freddie out of the game. Caleb Ferguson into the game.
Yeah, Fergie needed to get some work, and you mentioned Doc telling us that wanted to get him in this evening.
Pinch hitter for Miami, Garrett Hampson. The 0-2 from Fergie. Bounced up the middle. Oh, off the bag. And into center. So Hampson reaches. Tough luck for Ferguson and the Dodgers.
I mean, Fergie had an opportunity, tried to do one of those magic plays, just throw that glove up, and then it hits a bag. You got to be kidding me. Makes a good pitch, gets a ground ball, and penalized for it.
Tough hit to be recorded against Ferguson. Comes back with strike 1 to Sanchez. Once this one wraps up, the Dodgers will pack up and fly up to Washington, D.C. Series against the Nationals over the weekend. Jack in contact for Sanchez. It's kind of a weird Thursday in Major League Baseball. Just 6 games on the schedule. Huge series at Wrigley Field between the Cubs and the D-backs. Arizona does lead 3-1 in the top of the 6th. Ferguson made Sanchez look silly. Strike to Xavier Edwards. 6 major league games, but NFL is back. The Dodgers did get their annual team fantasy draft in when the team landed in Miami on Monday night. Joking with Mookie Betts, who has followed the Clayton Kershaw mold of just being the guy who bankrolls a team.
Didn't want to go through all the work.
Yeah. 0-2 to Edwards. Flash foul. That will be a future Backstage Dodgers episode. But Mookie, to tie it here to Miami, had the 5th pick, and his team selected Tyreek Hill. Rick Krajewski does not like that selection. He does not. He's disappointed in the front office there for Team Betts. Ball 1 to Edwards. Just after 6 p.m. back home in Los Angeles, we understand there may be folks who just got home, have just turned the game on and missed first 7.5. Ryan Pepiot was perfect through 6 2/3 innings before a base hit by Josh Bell broke up the perfect game bid. A bid for a no-hitter. Second strikeout for Ferguson in a row. And that's 5 total now for the Dodgers. 5 more. I know where we're at in the game, but 5 more, and everyone will get a free Jumbo Jack tomorrow. Jack in the Box in the LA area. Buy a large drink. Boom Burger.
Fergie filling up the strike zone right now. 12 pitches, only 1 ball.
And then needs 1 pitch to get this ground ball from Wendell. So the leadoff lucky base hit. Stranded. Done with 8. Play the game brought to you by your Southern California Volkswagen dealers. The play just the entire night. We saw from Ryan Pepiot, 7 shutout.
It really dominated the Marlins ball club. Mixed and matched, pitch efficient. Lived with that changeup this evening. Really couldn't ask for a better start.
So a 10-run game, you know, the Marlins would be allowed to put a position player out on the mound if they wanted to. Still Devin Smeltzer, Michael Busch to the plate, and Mookie Betts spotted the order. Puts it on the ground a second. Changes for the Marlins defensively. John Birdie now at third. Garrett Hampson remains in the game in the left. James Outman will get a shot at the plate. So if this score holds at 10-0, would be the largest shutout win for the Dodgers since July 28th of last year in Colorado. Just a few days before James Outman made his big league debut. And as expected, Evan Phillips warming for some work.
Couldn't have gone any better for Dave Roberts, huh? Getting the guys their work, seeing some great outings by the starter. Excellent D. Guys are hitting. James Outman been swinging the bat well. Had a home run last night. Probably thought he was going to get the evening off. Not playing because a lefty starting, but then come in late in the game and face a lefty.
He's got those numbers to back up. He can hit lefties, getting a breather. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, top of the 9th inning. So Ryan Pepiot take down the start big time fashion tonight. I wonder what's on tap for the Dodgers in DC. Kirsten Watson, what can you share?
Yeah, Steven. So Emmett Sheehan's going to have the start tomorrow in Washington, D.C. And then we'll see Bobby Miller getting the start on Saturday. And then right now, Sunday is still to be determined. So we should have more information as to who's going to take down that start, or if it's going to be a bullpen situation, probably tomorrow when the team gets to Washington.
Got it. Thank you, Kirsten. So no Clayton Kershaw until the team gets back home.
Yeah, Dave Roberts saying tentatively right now looks like Kersh Monday and Lance Lynn Tuesday.
Pick at first by Gurriel. Go to the last of the 9th inning. 3 outs to get. It's 10-0 Dodgers. Bottom of the 9th time. And contrary to what Nomar Garciaparra and Dave Vassay might believe, that is not where EK and I spent any time on this Miami trip, where we got our shirts. Been all business. So have the Dodgers tonight, trying to avoid the sweep, and in great position to do so. A 10-run lead for Evan Phillips, who, like Caleb Ferguson, EK getting some work in.
Well, he needs to. I think one time, I think it was the last 10 games, I believe, is, you know, he just got to come in and familiarize himself with the mound again, right? It's, you know, and that's the thing that, you know, while you're navigating and you're trying to get guys work and you're trying to win games and you're trying to, you also have to keep guys fresh. And it's kind of like he's the designated closer now, and you got to pitch in different roles just to get some work in.
And the last time we saw him, today's the 7th of September, and the 2nd of the month against Atlanta. He'll face 9-1-2 for Miami. Marlins 3 outs away from having their 6-game winning streak snapped. Starting the day in postseason position in the National League wild card race. But that could change here in the next hour or so. Cincinnati idle, half game back. Arizona also half game back, but in action and leading the Cubs. Fly ball, shallow left. ICT.
The Dodgers can close this thing out. It would be their 14th shutout of the season. Currently tied for 4th most in Major League Baseball with 13. If they get to 14, it would be the 2nd most in all of Major League Baseball. There he is.
Story of the night.
Right. Just got to, I mean, and for him, just, you know, so fulfilling and just continuing the dominance he's had so far this year.
Backhand play from Muncy. Strong throw across. 2 out. 96 at the bottom of the zone from Phillips. Strike one.
Not looking too bad for having only pitched once since August 27th. I mean, it's just looking pretty sharp.
A lot of Dodger fans here tonight standing up to watch strike three. That's a 10-0 shutout win for LA. Ryan Pepiot with back-to-back dubs.
Yeah, well, I think we saw a little bit of everything tonight. Obviously, Pepiot was the story dominant, but we saw the offense show up, everybody contributing, some great Dodger defense. Relievers came in and did their job. We saw some power. It's an all-around team effort. This is what we were accustomed to seeing in August.
Some of Dodger fans here. One of them, Tina, we met pregame. It was her first Dodger game in person. And I'm hoping to see a win. Saw a little bit more than that. A special outing from Ryan Pepiot, 7 shutout innings. The Dodgers, again, for a second straight series, avoid a sweep. Now on to D.C. for 3 against the Washington Nationals. John Hartung standing by with the Access Sportsnet Dodgers crew. Jerry Harrison Jr., Nomar Garcia-Parra, for Kirsten Watson, Eric Karros, and our terrific crew here. I'm Stephen Nelson. Thanks for watching. We'll do it again tomorrow night.